Shut up and sit down.
You're going to have to help me. Hey, everybody. By the way, this is the Culture of Pop, and this is the Stoner episode.
Yeah.
And number 2, this is the Stoner episode.
And
just so
3.
you know. This is the Stoner episode.
Okay. Just in case, yeah.
Anyway, so Fred brought something up, and he wanted to give a little talk. We're going to talk about stoner movies, but
it's not a huge thing. I was thinking about this in depth today. I was taking a big crap, and I was thinking about, because you do that. You sit down and you get your phone in your hand.
We just lost every female viewer.
Well, not every female viewer. But you get to thinking about shit when you're shitting, and
yeah, well, everybody does, yeah.
There's an overuse of the word best, the words best and worst, I think, in our culture, in our society today.
People like awesome.
People like to say that this is the best thing ever, or that's the worst thing ever. When it comes to Star Wars, with The Last Jedi, people say that movie was horrible, that movie sucked, you shouldn't go see it. There's people calling for the head of Rian Johnson right now, and from their opinion, rightly so, I guess. I don't agree with it, though, and I think that those words...
We don't condone violence.
Right. I'm just saying, I think those words should be replaced with phrases like, I don't like that, or this is my favorite thing, instead of best or worst, because there's some real fucking morons out there.
Yeah.
There are some real fucking morons out there. They hear best and their brain doesn't, they just, that must be the best. I gotta go watch that now.
Yeah.
It's like there's no opinions anymore. There's no personal opinions. People watch like you're watching us right now, and we offer our opinions to you. Think for yourself, though, is what we're saying, is what I'm saying. Think for yourself and come up with your own goddamn opinion. If you don't agree with what we're saying, that doesn't mean we're wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a huge misconception about that now. People just, if somebody says something that's contrary to what they believe, that person's just wrong.
Yeah. It's just the whole instantaneous. It's everything now has to be instantaneous. I want you punished, and I want you punished now.
Yes.
That you've upset me, and that's like Fred and I were talking. God, we're getting way out of pop culture, but we were talking for a minute.
This kind of applies because all of it kind of ties into what people consider to be popular culture.
Well, I mean, exactly. And what I was saying to Fred earlier was, you just, I've learned over the years, I'm an old guy. I consider myself an old guy. I'm not that old, but
I'm getting younger.
I wish we had like Benjamin Buttons.
Right.
Then we'd be doing this like when we were like 11 or something. Anyhow,
that's the goal. We're going to get there.
Once again, getting off topic, but this is the Stoner episode.
This is the Stoner.
Anyhow, so I was just referencing the fact that, what was I referencing the fact of?
You were talking about something. I know you were. It was there. We were talking about the subjectivity of entertainment.
Yes.
How one person's gem is another person's pile of shit.
Yeah. The mentality thing. That's what I was trying to bring up.
Exactly.
Was that I just realized after being 50 years on this planet that other people have different feelings than you, or not so much feelings, but thoughts and ideas and stuff like that. So you've got to take that into context every time you come in contact with another human being. That's the way the world works. That not just America, the whole world. Everybody has different feelings, different opinions, different ideas, and people have to take that into context when they're talking with one another.
Of course, if we went into this a little deeper, this is for a different podcast. We're all the fucking same anyways. I truly believe that every person has the same fucking thoughts. I think the same thoughts cross through every single person's mind. It's just what we act on. The thoughts that we act on is what makes us different, what sets us apart from everybody else.
Exactly. Like we all have anxieties. We all have, even if you don't admit it or whatever. I mean, everybody has panic, everybody has fear, everybody has sadness, everybody has,
I've
it's
experienced it more than once myself.
exactly, all of us have, and that's what we all have in common. And I wish we'd relate to each other more on that kind of.
But we in our society today, in popular culture today, we like to nitpick. We like to rip each other down. It's become trendy to hate.
Yes.
There are people out there. If you go on YouTube right now and you look up Star Wars Episode 9, I guarantee. I know we bring up Star Wars a lot on here, but when you think about it, it's kind of the cornerstone of popular culture.
And it is coming up.
Today.
I mean,
And
it's
coming up in
current. It's
12
very
days.
current right now.
As of the recording of this, it's coming up in 12 days. It's going to be 14 days before I get to see it. But if you do a YouTube search right now for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, I guarantee the top 200 fucking videos in your search results are going to be people telling you exactly how much this movie sucks, and it hasn't even been released yet.
Yep.
That's just because they know that by saying that, by putting that negativity out there, they're going to get the clicks they want.
Yeah.
They're going to get the attention that they want. You know, I don't really give a damn. I'll say what I feel. I'll say I'm not going to go with the trend. I'm not going to say that you shouldn't go see Episode 9 because it's going to suck, because I don't fucking know that.
Yeah.
Now, if I didn't like The Last Jedi, like a lot of people didn't, I'd probably say that and be completely confident in my assessment of what's to come, because it looks like a continuation of what came before.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it yet.
Exactly.
And I did like The Last Jedi, so I have high hopes for this thing.
Okay. It's not that I don't have high hopes. Here's my thing.
I know.
That I was going to point out about Star Wars.
And then we'll get off the Star Wars.
All these
topic
big,
pretty
huge
soon.
things, and this is what I've always thought to myself. Like when somebody reunites for the seventh or eighth time, and I'm not even talking about like Motley Crue or Kiss or current, but you just keep giving them your money.
Yeah.
And I don't understand, why can't we come to a conclusion? People can create big movements for important things, like politics and stuff like that, and I understand that. Awesome.
Yep.
Why can't we all come together as a media or an entertainment, people who love entertainment and pop culture, as one, and say to everybody, if you're really that pissed off, if you made YouTube videos that you're that pissed off about what's coming up, then don't go see it until Tuesday.
Yeah.
Make a dent. I mean, hashtag it, whatever you have to do.
That's kind of
and
what
make
brought
a
this up
dent.
in my mind, was somebody saying that they're not going to go see The Rise of Skywalker, and nobody should either.
Exactly.
Because The Last Jedi sucked, and we should.
And all those guys that say it on YouTube, I'm not going to see it, I'll go casual, I'm not, bullshit, you're going to go see it.
But Solo was the recipient of that kind of attitude, though, and it was actually one of the best Star Wars movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
But because people were so pissed off that Disney, well, for lack of a better term, Disney-fied Star Wars, people were so pissed off about that they boycotted Solo.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think it was Last Jedi, too, that did it, wasn't it? Because it came out after Last Jedi?
Yep.
Yeah. Last Jedi pissed people off because it wasn't what they saw in their fucking heads when they were growing up, wondering what was going to come next in the Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So they boycotted Solo, which was actually a really goddamn good movie, and now we're not going to get a sequel to that really goddamn good movie.
Yeah.
Because of that.
There's certain, my problem is that certain people pick out aspects that I think are just stupid. When you nitpick about the tiny things, it's even more ridiculous. So-and-so didn't have this on when they had that on, and blah, blah. Give me a break.
When I nitpick tiny things, it has nothing to do with the picture itself. It has to do with the process behind
Exactly.
behind telling a story, like with the
The complete project, what was made,
Right, right. Like with the prequel trilogy, the fact that George Lucas has said before that he does not like to write and he's not a very good writer. It really does kind of show. It really does kind of show that he just turned in a first fucking draft and they said, okay, we're just going to run with this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
When there should have been,
everything's
5 or
just
6
kind
drafts.
of, it's all kind of monosyllabic. It's all, is how you say it, monosyllabic. It's all very one note and very,
Yep.
yeah. It's spoken by skeletons, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's about as much substance, too.
But,
And the problem is the minority is what's loudest.
But let me tell you this. I did hear from somebody more about the Lucas cut, and there's no way in hell it's going to be used, but I heard that with the Lucas cut,
There was a Lucas cut.
yeah, remember I talked about it last week.
Right,
There's
yes,
supposedly
yes.
a Lucas cut of Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, right.
From what they did, he cut it or whatever, and his ends. Which we can talk spoilers because we have no clue anyway.
there's no.
So spoiler alert.
Potential
but, I mean,
spoilers.
like if you go everywhere on the internet right now, there's spoilers. I mean, you can't get away from it. But I thought this was kind of a cooler idea. Not that I don't like Rey. I'm not saying that at all, because I never even thought of her as a female hero until people started talking about it, as what always happens.
Yeah.
I never thought of, Sigourney Weaver as a female hero. I didn't know I had to.
And
I just thought she was a hero.
The majority of people won't
Yeah,
go there,
exactly.
unless it's thrown in their face by somebody.
Yeah.
They just say, "Oh, action hero." That's what
Exactly. She was an
That's
action
what-
hero,
that's what
and she
Ripley
was awesome.
That's what Ripley. When she strapped those two fucking guns, that gun together with the fucking flamethrower, and went
Yeah,
after
yeah.
Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking strong female. I was thinking, oh my god,
Exactly.
she's a fucking badass.
Exactly.
She's a fucking badass.
Yep. Yeah.
And I aspired to that, regardless of the fact that my gender's not the same.
Exactly.
If the person that you're idolizing on screen has to have the same appearance as you,
Yeah.
then the writers aren't doing their job.
Yeah.
If you have to connect to it that way, the writers aren't doing their job. A good writer can take any gender, any race, any religion, any person at all, and put them on screen and make anybody want to be that person.
Yeah.
A good writer can do
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
We're using this as an excuse to get away with bad writing now.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, and the thing is that I was so enthralled by movies as a young kid, and now and today still. It's managed to keep me very young in mind. It's also managed to. I want to do a podcast sometime of our video cast or whatever, of like everything I learned from the movies.
I mean, you could actually call it that too.
Yeah, and,
Be the
and
title.
the thing is, I copyright that title, or me and Fred do, or whatever. Anyhow,
attorney.
but when I was a kid growing up with movies and stuff, none of that stuff was happening. Like the Charlie's Angels stuff, it wasn't being pronounced as much as it is now. So none of that stuff was happening. But the funny thing is that it gave me more heart and feeling inside watching all those movies,
Right.
and it made me respect women even more.
It did.
And so but I didn't grow up with all this. You don't have to do that. It doesn't have to be done because it's ruining it for you, Hollywood. It's ruining it.
Like I said, the people who speak out on this the most are actually in the minority as far as the population of our planet. They're just louder.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you're right.
And if you try to get
And they
as
have
loud as
ways
they
or
are,
friends or
they
whatever to
even
get
louder.
Yeah.
And try to smack you down.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they'll try to ruin your whole fucking life if you oppose them.
Yeah,
Actually.
they will.
Some
I
of
mean,
them
it's
will.
cancel culture. That's what they call it. It's
Exactly.
unfortunate,
That's what
but I
you
mean,
were
it's
saying.
happening.
I don't necessarily like that term.
No, I don't
It
either.
doesn't
But I
fly.
mean, everybody knows it when you say it, and I think that's why everybody says it. So.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's like the whole Baby Yoda thing. Everybody just is going to call him Baby fucking Yoda. 'Cause
yeah, exactly. We were just talking about that a couple days ago. Me and my son,
Yeah.
because he loves that show. But yeah, it's interesting that you point out the Star Wars thing has a lot to do with it,
it
because
does. It's at the center of it right
here's what I'm thinking. Because of Terminator, Charlie's Angels, and I think there's a third that failed miserably this last fall or summer or whatever. I can't remember what. That was very centered on
likely.
social culture.
I know that I've heard
aspects.
comparisons between Charlie's Angels and the Ghostbusters 2016 movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've
Yeah.
heard comparisons because it's the same agenda trying to be pushed, and both failed just as hard
Yeah.
to make it in the box office because people don't want that. People don't want your agenda shoved down their throat
Yeah,
when they
that's-
go to the theater for entertainment.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, what if, I don't think it's going to happen, but what if Star Wars actually doesn't do well at the box office?
Nah,
Could this be the breaking point for Hollywood, for them to finally say, we need to listen to the fans?
Nah, because they got too much planned.
I don't care,
They've got
though.
too much money invested in it. They're just going to try to spin it different. That's what trailers are for. Trailers don't.
Yeah, I know. I realize
A
that.
lot of people will watch a trailer and they'll say, "Oh my God, that movie's going to be amazing." No. The trailer was designed to make you think that. The trailer is not. It doesn't matter.
Very specific, yes.
The shittiest movie in the world. Let me put it this way: the shittiest movie in the world could fill theater seats and break the fucking bank at the box office.
Yeah.
If given the right trailer, if given a properly cut trailer, they can fill those theaters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like
It's been done billions of times before. Hudson Hawk.
Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Yeah.
If you cut together
cut that
a
right.
proper trailer, you'll fill theater seats. Well, you do that now anyway because it's
Because
kind of
he's so huge now, yeah.
and it's hilarious
In the
to
cult
sit and
world,
watch.
yeah.
But if it was a brand new movie, you could still fill theater seats with a properly cut trailer.
Yeah, that's what they were meant to do. And you can actually see, what's cool and I think fun to do is sometimes just go on YouTube and watch old trailers, and you could see how much they've changed because they realized how to make money.
Right.
From like the 70s till now. I mean, the 70s were. I mean, you look at some old 70s trailers, and there's like actual storyline going on in that trailer. And then you look at 80s, and there's a little bit more glitz and glamour. I mean, it just kept getting.
Did you figure out how to put a trailer over top of this?
Yeah, I've done it a couple times. Yeah, but I can't match up the sound if it's exactly.
I see.
Like the sound on the last one was easy to do because it was all music.
Okay.
And even if I was a bit off, it was. I don't know why we're talking. Hey, we behind the scenes.
Right. Well, it happens. I was going to play the original 1977 trailer for Star Wars because it was so simplistic.
I don't know if I want to mess with Star Wars though.
I don't know if we talk over it, and it's only like 15 seconds long.
Yeah, but see, like I said, I can't match the audio.
Movie.
Yeah,
I'll describe the trailer then. The name of the movie, Star Wars, just scrolls back across the screen, and they say, coming this summer to a fucking theater near you. That was it. That was the trailer for fucking Star Wars. What was it? A galaxy or away, or no? It was like a millennium in the making.
Yeah,
you know, or something.
Weren't the toys made before the movie came out?
Yeah, and actually,
wasn't that why they put that trailer out? Was to get hype because they're like nobody even knows about this. We need to tell them. Yeah, and I thought it was maybe to get hype because the toys were already.
I know the big deal that George Lucas made with Fox when he signed up with them. He said, "You guys can keep whatever, but I get the merchandising rights." And then they started kicking themselves afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
But, there was that whole big thing where they actually couldn't match the demand for the toys. The toys weren't ready.
Yeah, I remember. They sent out the cardboard things or whatever, yeah.
We're doing something similar right now. We're going through something similar right now with this Baby Yoda freak.
Oh, really?
They wanted to make plushies, but they're not going to be in
stores before Christmas,
or the movie.
Yeah.
They're not actually going to be available. I think if you pre-order it on Amazon, you'll get it
Really?
in April.
I didn't know this.
And if you pre-order it on Walmart, on Walmart.com, you'll get them in May.
Oh, my. Wow.
That's way late.
Yeah, man, they had no clue what they had with him. They had no clue. I don't know if they did that. It was going to blow up like this. You think so?
They knew goddamn good and well what they had. They just didn't want to spoil it by saying, "Here's the merchandise."
Yeah.
Because people are going to see Baby Yoda on the shelf and they're going to be like,
"Huh, when's he coming up?" Yeah.
They wanted that whole reveal with the Baby Yoda thing at the end of that first episode to be a big reveal,
But even at the end of the first episode, I didn't think he was going to be that big. I mean, I didn't even think he was going to be like in his possession the whole time. I just figured, this is going to go. So I mean,
that look he gave the thing, and he reached out and they touched fingers ET style. That kind of told me that little bastard was around to stay.
Speaking of that, just off topic for a minute, but still pop culture related. Have you seen the ET thing?
ET thing. Oh,
yeah, the commercial for Xfinity.
Wasn't it? They got Henry Thomas back.
Yeah, it's like a 4-minute thing. If you go on Xfinity, I'm plugging for them.
Saw the ad for it, but I didn't watch it.
Okay, it's pretty cool. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and watch it. It's like a 4-minute thing, and it's like ET coming home to see the hell's his name again?
Henry Thomas.
What was an Elliot?
Didn't he get arrested recently for like DUI or something?
I think he might have DUI or something. But he's a really good dramatic actor now too. The things that I've seen him in, which is not a ton, but he's been really good in movies I've seen where he's dramatic. But this is really cool, and it's kind of heartwarming and kind of neat. It's done in the right way. It just sucks that at the end you see, no, I'm not plugging for Xfinity. You just see, Xfinity, and you think to yourself, okay, that was all done to get my money.
That's how they do it.
Yeah. But I mean, if you cut off that at the end, then it's a really cool little Christmas treat.
I follow some model on Instagram that she just struts around showing her shit off, and then every 5 seconds in her videos, she'll take a drink of that Bang energy drink.
Oh my!
And then she'll strut around more and show her ass off, and then it'll have a close up of the Bang.
Jeez.
And then she'll strut around again, then take another drink. And it's like every video she posts,
everything has to
formulaic be that way.
Yeah. Well, they've been selling sex for centuries, though. I mean, but I mean, now some of the stuff they sell is just, like that Elliot. They could have just done that as a Christmas treat. You didn't have to put your brand on it and stuff. But anyhow,
it's like when they hyped up that Big Lebowski reunion thing, and it just turned out to be a fucking 30-second spot during a football game or something.
Yep. But that was cool as hell. It was still cool.
I would rather have seen a movie.
Well, yeah, everybody would.
Movie or nothing.
Everybody would. Speaking of that, was there anything else on this topic, or do we want to go into stoner movies?
We can go into stoner movies. I was just going to say I would like to take a fucking sign that says "fuck you" and just stand outside of Hollywood, with Big Lebowski movie or nothing.
Oh my God, that's not going to happen.
No, it won't.
That sounds like the Jay and Silent Bob movie. The first one, not the reboot.
Well, the reboot was the same.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen it yet because I didn't have to. I didn't want to travel that far, but
I didn't want to travel.
You made
that
the
far
trip,
either,
and
but it was paid for, so fuck it.
Yeah, and I think it's coming out soon because I know it's on my pre-order list on Vudu. So,
sweet.
Usually when it pops up on pre-order on Vudu, they get the latest before DVD and stuff. Usually, so.
Again. I'm actually going to watch Rambo: Last Blood sometime very soon.
Yeah, I want to watch that again. I can't wait.
The wife has absolutely no interest, so I got to wait.
Did you watch Trick or Treat? Yeah.
No, I didn't watch it. she has absolutely no interest in that either, and we're on the same schedule, so it's difficult to find time alone. I haven't even played Grand Theft Auto 5 since I talked about it on last week's podcast. So, because I don't ever have time. I don't ever have, and now I've got even less time.
I know what you're
because
saying.
I'm working 2 jobs, so.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I get it. Definitely. It's what was I saying?
I have no clue. Talking about stoner movies?
Yes, I was going into stoner movies.
Trying to transition?
Well, I was trying to transition. I was trying to transition because we were going to talk about stoner movies, and you mentioned The Big Lebowski, which is a good stoner movie.
It really is.
We've already had a big episode on Big Lebowski, so we won't talk about it that much. But
too much detail. But there are a ton of them out there.
Yeah.
It's as much a part of the culture as Star Wars is.
Oh yeah.
In fact,
most definitely. Yeah.
For longer. I mean,
yeah.
When did it start? It started with the fucking. I want to say it started with the Cheech and Chong movies.
Yeah, I was just gonna say because that was my first introduction to like a stoner movie.
Right.
Was Cheech and Chong? Was that yours?
Up in Smoke.
Yeah. Mine was Nice Dreams, and I remember. No.
I think my first introduction to a stoner type movie was Dazed and Confused, Richard Linklater.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a stoner movie, yeah.
It wasn't until after that I started watching the Cheech and Chong movies.
Okay.
And listening to their albums, and those guys they were ahead of their time.
Oh, yeah. They're right up there.
It was a shame.
Where? Up there. Up top, we got Cheech and Chong. But yeah.
Standing next to some fried chicken.
Those films are funny, and I've gone back and watched them. I can remember when I was a kid and seeing them on like Showtime or whatever. I didn't really understand a lot of it. I was probably like 12, 13, so I was kind of like okay. But now I get the humor big time.
Yeah, the wife kind of grew up on those too in the same way.
Yeah.
In the same way, because she didn't get it when she was a kid either, but her dad watched it.
Yeah.
So now when she watches it now, doing what she does, it just makes a lot more sense, and it makes you get. One of those. I might push for one of those tonight when we get home.
I really kind of like started to love them when I was in an album store, record store, whatever.
One of those places.
I found a Cheech and Chong album, and I think it was on clearance. And I remember it was the one where they're holding the giant joint, and God, what was it called? Greatest Hits, or Greatest Hit.
Greatest Hits.
It was called Cheech and Chong Greatest Hits. So I was like, okay, it's their Greatest Hits. I'll check it out. And my cousin and I fell in love with that album, and we would listen to it every time we would drink, or every time we would be just hanging out or playing games or whatever.
And I had their bits memorized. We just
and that's kind of the way. Then that's when I started getting into the movies, because then I thought, okay, well now I get it. I get the whole deal.
And people are going to know that we get it when they watch this back, because you're going to be sitting there saying, "Are we parked, man?" I think we're recording a podcast.
I love that. So what else do we have? I was I'll let you go ahead and go.
Well,
what were you thinking?
Like I said, my first introduction to this was the Richard Linklater movie Dazed and Confused, and I fucking love that. That started the careers of Ben Affleck.
Yep. Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey got his start there.
Mm-hmm.
Jason London, whose brother, what's his fucking brother's name?
Matt?
No, it's not
Matthew London?
It's not Matt.
No. Which one was in Mallrats?
That's the one I was trying to think of.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Jason.
I know Jason.
We'll figure it out. You know what? Just in post, just put a big picture of who it actually is.
I will.
With the actual name, and
it'll be right. Oops, I'm still not used to the camera. It'll be right there, or right there. Once again, this is the stoner episode. It'll be right there.
Where are we? Is it going to be there? Is it?
It's gonna be right there.
So, you know what you should do?
All right,
You
anyway.
should put it in the wrong spot on purpose so that we're pointing at the wrong spot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that soundtrack.
God,
that
that's-
soundtrack ruled my high school years.
Yeah, and
loved it.
and that's when I got, that's when I really got into him. Or not Cheech and Chong. I was talking about Dazed and Confused.
Right.
I didn't get into the movie at first. I kind of like didn't know how funny it was to myself. I thought, I guess,
There's
and then I
different
watched it later
layers.
again, and it kind of took a couple watchings for me to
there's
really get
layers
into it.
to it, you know.
Yeah, there
when
is,
You're
there
young
is.
and you see it. You identify with the Mitch character because he's the
Yeah.
one coming from middle school to high school.
Yeah.
When you watch it when you're a little bit older, you identify more with the senior characters that are going through their whole transformation.
Correct.
And as an adult, sometimes you can even look at it and identify with the fucking parents who don't have much screen
Oh yeah.
time at all.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
You know, and
I agree.
You're a parent. I'm not a parent. I don't think I'm ever going to be.
That's all right. I mean, that's your thing.
2 years. I told the wife 2 years. If it's not in 2 years, I don't want to
Yeah.
have a kid because I don't want to be 60 when the kid gets.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I can't say that I blame you at all. I mean, I'm in the age I am now, and it's hard. So, no.
Then there was one. Adon was talking about this when we were interviewing him. A movie called The Stoned Age.
Yes, and I remember we must watch that Hollywood video. I know I did. Or no, did you see it before that?
I saw that for the first time at a party.
Okay.
Because everybody there was saying, and this kind of peppered my opinion of the movie for a while.
Yeah.
I've come to appreciate it more as time's gone on. But at that time, the movie was advertised as a Dazed and Confused for the 90s.
Yes, exactly.
It was not.
No, it was not.
It was not. It was slapstick. It was goofy.
But it was funny. But it was wrong advertising.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was just billed. That's another example. The right advertising can fill theater seats, and the wrong advertising can fuck your movie up
Yep.
in the minds of people who have seen it.
Exactly.
If you go into Deep Blue Sea expecting Jaws, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you go into the Stoned Age expecting Dazed and Confused, you're not going to like it for about 10 fucking years, which is where I was at.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. I don't know if it still holds up, but I remember the couple viewings that I did have when it did come out. I remember thinking, this movie's hilarious for what it was.
It was just ridiculous.
Yes,
slapsticky
exactly.
and goofy and just.
Yeah,
But that works.
Yeah, it
works.
does.
Again, I've gained appreciation for it as time has gone on. But
Yep.
Just that initial viewing where everybody was sitting there like, what the hell is this piece of shit? This isn't Dazed and Confused. Fuck these assholes. She's hot, though. That was kind of the gist of that night with the movie. We eventually just said, fuck it, and went outside and got high, but...
What would be your Kevin Smith stoner movie?
Oh, you know what? All of his movies, in my opinion, are stoner movies if they have Jay and Silent Bob in them.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, as far as like viewing,
Well,
if you were going to be incapacitated for a few hours
and I could only pick one?
and you could only pick one.
So you're asking what my favorite Kevin Smith movie is?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do what I said earlier. I'm not going to say the best Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah, no,
because
no.
then 3,000 people are going to say, well, we don't have 3,000 viewers, but
No.
everybody watching is going to say, no, this is the best one.
Yeah.
And then another person, no, this one's the best. My favorite
Yeah.
Kevin Smith movie to this day, and I think we talked about this before, Dogma. Is still
Yeah,
my favorite
yeah.
Kevin Smith movie. I wouldn't consider that a stoner movie, though.
See, that's what I'm going to
The
say.
one that I'm going to say I don't consider a stoner movie.
Mine is Dogma too.
Or
But
Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy really wasn't a stoner movie.
No,
because those guys appeared for approximately 5 fucking seconds. Jay
Yeah.
rolled a joint, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was
yeah. But what's different with mine is that I mean, like Dogma is definitely my favorite movie, but as far as watching it, with inviting, in stuff, I would say Zack and Mary. I think it's
Really?
because I really don't. I'm not a huge fan of that movie. I thought a lot of it was overdone.
I loved it. I loved it.
I love the story. I love the heartwarming story with Seth Rogen and
I love
who
Seth
else was in
Rogen
it?
as an actor, and I think I could watch. This is probably the reason why I'm going to actually watch Charlie's Angels when it becomes readily available.
Yeah,
is because
it's 'cause he's in it.
I would watch Elizabeth Banks stare.
Oh, Elizabeth Banks.
stare at a fucking wall for 4 hours on camera. As long as she's on camera, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
she's gorgeous.
Yeah, she is very beautiful. She's also
And
very
she's
talented.
talented,
I've
too.
always thought she was
Yes,
talented.
very
Yeah,
much so.
yeah. I just feel sorry that she, has gotten to that point where she's, just banging on everybody because we didn't go see her movie because. Sorry. But-
Shit, I've seen the headlines, and headlines, like I've said before, can be sensationalized.
Yes,
to get
they can be
clicks.
deceiving.
They can take one thing that you've said.
Yeah.
If you
And
say,
inflect it.
if you say, I understand that I could have done better with this movie, but men are to blame for not. Yeah, they're not. They're going
Yeah.
to ignore that
Yeah.
first part. They're going to come up. They're going to grab the second part where you're
Yeah.
blaming the fucking men, and they're going to put that on the headline.
Yeah.
You know.
So just, stop doing that kind of editorialization.
People
just
are
talk about
dumb.
the movie. That's what it
People
used
are
to
dumb
be.
enough, they'll just click it.
Yeah.
They don't think too deeply on it, and they don't want to think too deeply on it. That's why it works.
Yeah, I should have brought over the new issue of Entertainment Weekly, because this is something that shows a lot about Hollywood, is that I am going to cancel my subscription to Entertainment Weekly, and I literally have had it since they began back in the early or late 80s.
I had it for about a year and then canceled it because I probably saw exactly what you're about to say. But go ahead.
And there was the new cover has Star Wars on it, and it's old school Star Wars,
Right.
And it looks pretty cool and everything. But the thing is that it's like not really about anything anymore, and it's as everything else, it's become very political. It's every other page is somebody pushing another agenda, and it's like
The problem
it's supposed
is
to be
it's like
fantasy,
on
it's
the
entertainment.
surface. That's all it is. It's just surface.
Yeah,
political.
I know.
It doesn't even go into depth. It just says, "Here's what you're supposed to
Exactly.
think. Think this."
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I've always that's why I'm not a good movie reviewer, because I'm going to tell you bluntly what I thought about it, and I'm going to tell you how it made me feel, and I'm not going to use a whole bunch of fancy words to do it.
No, and
I'm not going to say, "Oh, when
gonna
the
say
actor
this.
came out as windswept hair, blah blah." Yeah, I'm not doing all that shit. I'm just going to tell you, was it good? Yeah, it was really good, man. There was an explosion here, there was this here, there was a good romantic story here, whatever I'm talking
And of course, you'll
about. I mean,
preface the whole thing with spoilers if you're going to start talking about that stuff.
yeah, I always do that. I whenever I talk to people about movies, I never ruin anything for them anyway. There's movies that are 100 years old, and I'm like, I can't. Well, Fred,
Right.
and I'm not telling him the ending of Inglourious Bastards, but
Please and thank you. I'll get there.
Yeah, see, and I never will. I mean, we're together every Sunday. I never mention it, so I would never
You do
spoil
mention
like that.
it. You just don't spoil it. You say,
Yeah, I'm not
did you
going to.
watch it yet? And I
Yeah.
say no. And that's a routine that we've gotten into.
Yeah,
every week.
exactly.
Did you watch Trick or Treat yet? No.
Yeah, and so I'm not going to spoil, either of those movies, and I've never been known to do that. But in this day and age, like we just said, there's spoilers everywhere. You can't avoid
You can't
them.
avoid it. You really can. If you don't want to be spoiled on the Rise of Skywalker, I'd say in the next few days, shut off your social media account
Yeah. Yes.
because it's going to be every fucking where.
And I challenge every single YouTuber and every single person out there who is hating on Star Wars right now. Don't go see it till Tuesday. Or when does it come out? Does it come out on a Wednesday or
I'm going to
Friday?
go see it Sunday. I want to contribute to this movie. And see, that's what I was talking about before. It's all subjective. I am actually personally excited for this. I want to contribute
Yeah,
to its success.
I know.
because
I
want
agree.
to see more
I
Star Wars
agree.
stuff get made. There's a lot of people that hated The Last Jedi, and they hate Rian Johnson. And because of that, they're going to punish this movie, which has nothing to do with Rian Johnson,
Yes.
which was apparently the reason they hated that. So they've already gotten rid of the thing that was bad about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But people are still going to punish this movie for
Yeah.
it. And that's what I'm saying. I personally, you can tell everybody that you want to that they should wait or they shouldn't give their money to something until a certain time. Don't contribute to the opening box office, but people are going to do what they want to do based on what they
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
It's all subjective.
And that's fine. I don't have a problem with those people. Like I said, I was just talking about the haters that I all see.
right, yes.
I mean, if you want to make a point, if you want to really make a stand, then we can see how many of you all, are really into it.
Yep, and you know
don't
what?
go till Tuesday.
And you know what? If you took a step back and you created a metaphor around that whole thing, what you would see from that, the result from that would be watching a BB from a BB gun bounce off of a barn door.
Yeah, you're right. You're completely right.
Because
They won't do it. It won't happen. It never happens.
Even if they did do it, even if everybody who is hating this movie before it's been released were to boycott the fucking thing, that's what it would
It's going to
look
be a
like
little
from
tiny
distance.
dent. Yeah, I get it, man. But it's just, I mean, put together a hashtag, guys. There you go. Put together a hashtag. Don't go see till Tuesday. There you go. We're not promoting this because we both want to see it. I'll talk about spoilers and shit like that, but I'm still going to go see it. I'm not
I have
insane.
given so much of my money to Star Wars.
I've given so much of my money to just entertainment itself because I like so much stuff, that I've never had one single thing except for the Bionic Man, which I loved for ages. But anyway,
I wouldn't say there's one single thing. There's a few things that I've given way more money to than I really probably should have.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Star Wars is a good example. I bought the original trilogy when it came out in the special editions, and then I gained an appreciation for cinema, so I rebought the original trilogy in widescreen, the special editions, and then it came out on DVD, so I went out and I bought the DVDs. I've bought these movies 3 fucking times.
Yes.
I refused to buy the Blu-ray because now there's these things out called the despecialized editions. Have you heard of these?
Yeah, you told me about them.
I told.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned that in a different
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
Yes. But those are the only versions I'm going to watch anymore. So
Yeah.
I won't even watch them on Disney Plus. But there's been other things too, like for instance, Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
I've bought that more than once. I owned the collector's edition DVD, and then I lent that to somebody, and they never returned it, and I never saw that person again. Which, fuck you, Patrick. Because I went out and I bought the Blu-ray to replace it. The Blu-ray for Conan the Barbarian contains a different cut of the movie. It's not the special edition. There's a few scenes that have been cut out. There's a few scenes that were left in that weren't in the original, though. So it's a weird cut of the movie, and I consider it to be inferior. So I actually went out and I bought the collector's edition again.
Yeah.
Because that's the version of the movie that I love.
Yeah.
And it's got this great scene, and it was the omission of this scene that made me want to get the collector's edition again. And that's right before that big battle at the end when they're setting up the preparation. They're setting up all the armor and the spikes in the ground and getting their weapons ready to go to fight these 100 guys right before his Crom, I have never prayed to before. Right before that big speech, this happens, and it's him talking to Subutai about how the wind is offensive to them. The sweet-smelling wind is offensive because it comes right before the fucking battle,
Yeah.
It's like he said, I remember winds like this growing up. He said, my father would take us into the forest and we'd pick wild blueberries. And Subutai looked at him and says, I remember winds like this too. They blow where I grew up to.
Yeah, yeah.
And Conan looks at him and says, for us, there is no spring. There's just a wind that smells sweet before the storm.
Wow.
And then it goes into the big battle.
See, I've never seen all of those, but the one that I'm more of a Beastmaster man. I loved Beastmaster.
I think if you gave the first Conan the Barbarian, the original Conan the Barbarian,
I think I might have seen it like I said, when I was a kid, we had Showtime. Like we were one of the earliest adopters of it or whatever. And so we had Showtime for quite some time. And I think I probably caught it on there. And I think I actually might have rented it and watched it one time because I do recall it. But I've never, how many sequels are there?
There's only one official sequel, but that movie, Conan the Barbarian, started this whole sword and sorcery, low fantasy craze.
Krull and
all
and
that.
Beastmaster was low fantasy, but I like Beastmaster
with those twins. And the Red Sonja movie that was a piece of shit. And you can't confuse.
Wasn't he in that
he was. He was actually supposed to be Conan, but they couldn't separate the rights.
Okay.
So they had to name him something else. But he was in it. You can't confuse any of those knockoffs with the original Conan the Barbarian because that movie had heart. There was hardly any dialogue in that movie at all, but it was one of the most effective stories I've ever seen told.
I definitely have like, I mean, I don't really remember it. I might have to pick it up and check it out again.
Oh, I got the collector's edition if you want.
Do you really?
Yes.
Okay.
Because don't be Patrick.
I'm not going to be Patrick. One of the other.
Buy it 3 times, but I will.
Clash of the Titans was a big one for me too.
Was it?
I never really got into those. Fred's more into the fantasy stuff than I am.
Much more.
Yeah,
we're gonna have an episode where I'm going to walk him through making a D&D character. We don't necessarily play D&D.
I definitely want to do that. I've said it before. I've always been interested. I don't know. I've always been interested in that kind of gaming, that whole gaming community, and that whole how you guys spend hours on what are they called?
MMOs,
not missions, but what are they called?
Like quests.
A quest, yeah, and all that.
It's more than that. Like when just a quick little thing when you're actually in combat in Dungeons and Dragons. A round of combat is 6 seconds of time, and it takes about a half an hour to get through.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's
a fight in D&D literally lasts like 2 fucking minutes.
Yeah,
but it'll take you an entire night to get through that.
Yeah,
fight sometimes,
yeah.
you know, because you got 6 fucking people sometimes, up to 6, 7, 8 people playing the game at any given time, and they've all got their own thing that they're doing within that 6 seconds. And then the enemy's got to go too, you know.
Wow.
And it takes strategy, it takes thinking, it takes knowing your character and growing with it. You can't just make like a max level character and go with it.
You know what it is? I've always felt that I wasn't smart enough for it. I've always kind of felt like I don't know if I can keep track of all that shit.
Well, you know what? You know what? Second edition, I'm not smart enough for it. Okay, I don't know anybody who's truly smart enough for second edition. I really don't, because there's just so many confusing rules. With the newest edition, they're up to 5th edition right now.
Okay,
and they've simplified it to the point where you don't need to know shit. You just need to know what your character can do and how to do math.
Okay.
Because the DM can handle all that until you pick it up.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get it as you go. It's like starting a new job. It just you pick it up as you go along. Wow. It seems daunting, and that's why
I'm not saying it's daunting, because I am actually interested in it. Like I said, I'm just like really, you know, I kind of like I said, I'm just in awe, I guess, of, you know, how much time that takes and how much you have to really have a passion for something to really do it for that long. Yeah. I mean, like, I can sit here, and even though the editing job is not the greatest yet, it's getting way better and better and better.
It is getting way better.
But I can sit here for like from 11 till 8 o'clock at night on a Monday doing the editing, and I won't even, time just passes like that.
I used to be the same. I had this program, I don't know if you saw on my Facebook profile, there's a folder under the pictures called Art, just labeled Art. There's a ton of images in there that I used to work on a program called Poser. Okay. Where you just take a 3D model of a person or whatever you want, and you pose it in different ways. You set up the lighting within the program, and then you render an image from that. And I used to do it all the time. I used to love working with this. I could start an image and just go for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I considered it to be virtual photography, really. Yeah. Because you're setting up a camera angle, you're setting up the lighting, and then you're posing the person you want. And I would take that into Photoshop too, and sometimes tweak it a little bit, make it look better. There's different textures you can layer onto the actual figure within the program itself, and I would take those texture files into Photoshop and make whatever I wanted. I got tons of pictures of Spider-Man, Superman, all the superheroes on there. I got Conan the Barbarian in there. I got a ton of shit in there. Wow. I even started, I never finished.
I know I've seen some of the Superman ones, because I remember I used to post them on Facebook. Yeah.
Spider-Man was my favorite to work with, and Wonder Woman. Those were the two sets of costumes that I had the most of, and I enjoyed working with them. It was a fun thing to do. Some of those images look like crap when I go back and look at them now, because my tastes have changed. But you got
Does that mean,
more in there.
Dude, the thing is this is my phone. It keeps buzzing if you guys hear it on the mic. The reason it's buzzing is because I have the Walmart app, of course, and I swear to God, I get Black Friday was what? Last week?
Yeah, it was last week.
I get Black Friday ads still now, like every 5 minutes, it seems like, from Walmart.
That's nuts.
And I'm just too lazy to shut it to actually go in and do the app thing. I got to do that. But anyhow,
they're still plugging their.
Oh yeah, they're still plugging Black Friday. We're gonna promote Walmart.
Not enough people replied to Black Friday deals this year. I actually had to leave the house. I had no choice but to leave the house on Black Friday this year. I try not to.
I left once, I think.
Well, we had to do some grocery shopping, just some basic necessities and shit that we were out of. Nobody was in that store.
Oh really?
Nobody was in Meijer.
That's surprising. That's really maybe everybody was all tuckered out.
Everybody's doing it the night before.
On Thursday now, which is not Black Friday. Stop calling it that then. Black Friday has actually lost its title.
I just think that there's some evil guy in a suit somewhere trying to see how deeply he can corrupt people. You know, let's take the fucking holiday. Let's take the holiday where they thank everybody or they announce what they're thankful for, and make them go out and buy a bunch of new shit right after the meal.
Yeah,
you know. I mean, it was bad enough when it was the next day.
It was bad enough, and
now they're like, I'm thankful for the TV, and I'm thankful for my children, and I'm thankful for my wife, and this was a good meal. So I'll see you guys later. I'll be back with a PlayStation.
Exactly. It's like they don't even give you a chance to rest. And I mean, this is social talk. I mean, I don't know it's pop culture, but we don't even get a Thanksgiving anymore. You don't even get a Thanksgiving. I mean, as soon as Halloween's over, and sometimes, most time before Halloween's over, Christmas candy's already out.
Yeah.
and there's no
Before
talk of
Halloween even
Thanksgiving.
comes up.
Yeah, yeah,
Hell, I remember seeing Christmas lights in a store once in September.
yeah. And this is something two old men talk about, so let's get off this subject. This is like,
It's valid,
but no,
though.
it's very valid. It is, but it's not going to change. Just like we talk about the movie shit, it's not going to change.
It's like pretty soon they're just not going to take the Christmas section down.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, they'll just
You're
leave it
gonna
up
go
all
buy your
year.
Shit. Christmas will pass, and
Yeah.
you'll be like, "Why is that slow?" Oh, well, that's for next year.
I can see it happening. I mean, they already have Christmas places that you can go to all year round and
And
stuff.
people
So
are dumb enough that they'll say, "Oh shit, I better go buy my Christmas stuff." They got an
yeah,
hour.
I know, right?
You know?
I've always been a late shopper with all that crap anyway. But anyhow,
We are coming up on Christmas, though.
yeah, Friday. Would you consider that a stoner movie?
Yes.
I'm just going to keep mentioning
Very
it here
much
just
so.
so we can call this the stoner
Very much
episode.
so.
Yeah, me too. And
And that's one we actually watched on 420 this year. That was her choice, too.
that's a
That was
great
her wife's
choice. God, that's an amazing movie. It's so funny. Every character in it is so hilarious.
And then they had to ruin it with, what was it, Next Friday?
Next Friday wasn't good, but Next Friday was good, I thought. But Friday After Next, that was the one with Santa. That one was.
I wouldn't
It wasn't
consider
great.
any of the sequels so far. There's another one coming out pretty soon, Final Friday or Last Friday.
Oh, really? Seriously, I didn't even know
One
that.
called Last Friday's coming out sometime soon.
Okay.
I don't know about that one, but I wouldn't consider any of the sequels to the first Friday movie to be stoner movies because they cut out the whole fucking smoking weed part.
Not in Next Friday. Now maybe the next
there?
one. Oh, Next Friday. That's all they do. That's the one where they move across the street from the gang members and stuff. And Ice Cube falls in love with the sister of one of the gang members.
See, I thought Next
and all they
Friday-
do is smoke weed in the because the person he goes to stay with is his uncle.
Yeah, the
and his
one that
uncle
won
won
the
the
lottery?
lottery. Yeah,
Okay,
and all
yeah,
they do
that-
is smoke weed the entire time in the couch.
I must have just missed that.
Well, probably maybe because
I was probably very stoned when I saw that, actually.
no, seriously, yeah. There's that whole scene where they just all pass out, and yeah, it's hilarious. But it definitely is in there. Now the other one, so much I haven't seen it a lot. I didn't care for it the
know
first
that
time I saw it.
It just seemed like they were trying to go a little bit more family friendly as they went along. You know? Losing your headdress there.
No, I'm good. Okay, I might just like this is funny because last week Fred's nose itched, and now my ear will not stop itching.
And you know what? As soon as I got home, nothing.
Exactly right.
Once I got home, I was even talking to the wife. I was like, you know that thing where you get that itch on your nose, it just won't fucking go away. Happened all throughout the fucking. Didn't start till the camera started rolling, and it stopped immediately as soon as the camera was done.
Exactly. Oh god,
That was the universe laughing at me. That was, watch this shit. Watch what we're gonna. He scratched it again. We're gonna do it again. He scratched it again.
Oh my god.
Just my higher self fucking with me, you know.
So
Stoner movies.
yeah, stoner movies. I'm gonna tell a story real quick.
Is it about a stoner movie?
No, it's about a weird experience
That works
that
too.
I just thought of. I mean, we'll get personal on here from there. Well, we always do anyway.
We always kind of slip into that a little bit.
So we go to the, and I mean no foul by saying anything that I say. This is an actual, real, true story. We went to Taco Bell last night because the kids wanted to go to Taco Bell, and they were going to pay for their own because my kids all work, and so do her kids. Well, I'm telling way too much about this, but it doesn't matter. Anyhow, they said they wanted to go to Taco Bell because they didn't want to eat anything in the house, blah, 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 so on and so on. So we pull around to Taco Bell, we make our order. After we make our order, we pull around to the drive-thru. And there's nobody behind us and there's nobody in front of us. We pull up to the drive-thru, and we pull up so my two boys are in the back seat and they want to pay themselves, you know. So we pull up just a little bit where it's back, where the guy can reach them in the back seat. And the guy slides the thing open, and my son, who's 15, hands out the money, and he's just holding the money there, and the guy goes, "What's that for?"
We just ordered food.
We immediately just started laughing, and we were like, for like a second, we were like, because he sounded mad. And I look at my kids and I'm like, how often does this happen where people just come up and hand you money? What do you think what's for? I mean, that shouldn't even be a question where we're at.
know?
What else would it be for?
We're at Taco
Seriously.
Bell, and you're in the drive-thru window. about to hand us food.
That was my point. That was my point. What else would it be for?
I mean, if you want to just hand us the food,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
we'll keep the money.
See, you have the same thought process I did. That's exactly what I was thinking. But he literally yelled at my kid, like, "What's this for?" And we were just in shock.
Wow.
I'm like, anyway.
lowest common. Which one was that? So I can go to a different.
It was the one on. Well, nobody will get this if they're actually watching us internationally. But if you're watching us locally,
that's where I'm going.
It's the one in Allentown.
Okay, then we're not doing that. We're going to go to the one on fucking Lighter. Good to know.
Yeah, it was probably one of the strangest things that ever happened to me at a drive-through, and I've been to a lot of drive-throughs, a lot of strange things. But I mean, I couldn't.
Me of that old Sinbad bit where he's talking about going into McDonald's. You know, and they have the automatic change machine that just drops the change right in the hand. Just
yeah. Oh, I remember. Yeah.
And he's like, I went in there. He said, my order was $4.95. I gave my man a $5 bill, and the change machine broke. He's like, boop, boop. Man, just reach in here and get how much you think you should get back.
I do remember that. Yes.
He was good back in the day.
Which brings up another story.
Is it about stoner movies?
No, 2 nights ago, stoner movies. Hold on 1 second. What's another one that I was thinking of? Have you ever seen Kid Cannabis?
No.
It's actually based on a true story. It's pretty good. It's a comedy, and it's about a guy gets the idea to smuggle marijuana over from the Canadian border.
Okay.
Because there's like this waypoint where they can get through or whatever. It is really funny. It's kind of an independent movie, but it's based on a true story. I don't know how true the actual film is to it.
Well,
but
they like to, what I was talking about before we even started recording, like they like to Hollywoodize these things. You give them a true story, and they'll put a dramatic spin on it that's nothing like what you saw. It's like Oliver Stone's The Doors. When you watch The Doors, it's a good story. It plays out really nice.
Exactly.
But the problem is it makes the average person think that they just witnessed what Jim Morrison really went through.
Yes.
When in actuality, they changed so many
quite
details.
A bit of it. Yeah.
Just to fit with the narrative.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with Freddie Mercury movie. It's the same thing with it. Well, Elton had more say over his movie, but yeah, I mean they cut it so that you're going to like it. I mean that's the whole purpose. You would want
a story. They're not trying to say this actually happened. They're trying to tell a story that's based on true events, and that's another issue of mine. That based on true events thing. I've met people that actually believe there's a fucking fucked up cannibal family in Texas that's chopping people up and putting them in chili. Okay, just because it says based on true events, doesn't mean you're watching something that actually happened.
Yes.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre
did not happen.
Inspired by true events.
Yes.
There was a guy named Ed Gein. Look him up.
Yeah.
That's who that was based on.
But I think that's more inspired by true events. I'd rather see that than based on true events.
The fact of the matter is you can put based on true events or inspired by true events.
And people are still going to think it's ultimately the whole thing's true.
You could blow your nose and look at the snot
well, that would be based on true events.
on the rag and say, "Oh, I got a good idea for a movie," and then that's where the Blob came from. You know, inspired by true events. You know, that's as little actual basis in fact that you have to have in order to put inspired by true events in your movie.
Yeah.
That's my big problem. And I was talking about also this Mandela Effect movie that's coming up, which is actually kind of a very real phenomenon. If you do some research on it, it's interesting. But they've got this movie coming up titled The Mandela Effect that's kind of based on that. And I guarantee they're going to do what I just said. They're going to Hollywoodize this thing. They're going to dramatize this thing to the point where if you try to talk to anybody about this very real phenomenon that's going on right now, they're going to look you right in the eye and say, "Oh, you mean that dumb fucking movie?" And nobody's going to take it seriously.
I don't know. It's a weird theory. It's a weird. So, are we relating to parallel universes? Is that what everybody thinks the Mandela Effect is? Is the fact that there's parallel universes?
Everybody just got a theory.
Yeah,
I have several.
But I mean, is really seriously?
I have several theories.
I don't know how I stand on it. When I was into it, which I went down that wormhole, every once in a while you go down to a wormhole.
You find yourself on what they call the weird part of YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I kind of get it. I mean, I don't want to say get it, but kind of believe it, I guess I should say. But at the same time, I'm like, I just think we just don't remember right.
I was going to say that's one of my theories is just imperfect human memory.
Yeah.
But
I know that a whole lot of people have it. I get that.
It doesn't really explain how everybody has the same memory.
Yeah.
You know?
I do get that, like the whole Berenstain Bears and all that stuff. I mean, which is originally.
There's a lot of different examples. And in the case of the Star Wars things, I honestly think that that's just a case of faulty memory because I've always remembered either that or that parallel universe thing is in play, and I've just never been in the universe where they're seeing what they're seeing.
Exactly.
I come from this one.
Yeah.
You know,
And
could be that. Could be fucking time travelers, and we're just catching up. Fucking Marty McFly disappearing from the picture style.
Yeah.
You know, where we kind of vaguely have a memory of the way that it was, but it's changing. As we go.
Which is why over so many years, I really don't think, even in court cases and stuff like that, that kind of memory should be able to be used, because we all literally. I mean, I understand when it's something traumatic, you're probably going to have a greater memory of it, but
not necessarily.
True. I mean, you could have erased it totally.
I could not tell you what the guy looked like that robbed me at Domino's.
Really? Seriously?
Well, he had a mask on.
Well, you were in that moment, but...
He had a mask on, and he had a hat on, and he was about my height, and he had blonde hair that was sticking out from underneath the hat, but that's all I remember. I couldn't point out the guy. They showed me several pictures when the cops came to talk to me the next day. They showed me several pictures of this guy, and, you would think, I looked the guy right in the eye.
Yeah.
I was sitting outside smoking a cigarette back when I still smoked. I don't smoke anymore. I was sitting outside smoking a cigarette, just leaning against the door, and I look over, and a guy with a gun comes up and says, "Empty the register." And I said, "That fucking works." Flicked my cigarette out, went inside. I looked him right in the eye, though, when he did that.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you what his eyes looked like.
Wow. Yeah, it's just, when you're in that kind of moment, man, you don't know what you're going to do. You don't know how you're going to react.
I handed him the money. He insisted to me that he was doing this because he has a sick daughter, which... I guess garnered a little bit of sympathy if it was true.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that at the time, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not thinking about that when you have a gun pointed at you. So what, I didn't even know this happened.
Yeah, and then since it's a fucking big-ass corporate fucking place, I got in trouble for having too much money in the register.
Oh, my goodness, of course.
That was right around the time when I said, you know what, fuck this place, I'm finding something else.
So now I got to ask, it's a Stoner episode. Now I got to ask, so how did it feel? I mean, when you were in that moment, when that gun was at your, what's it feel like? I mean, because I haven't had it happen. I don't want it to happen, knock on wood.
I learned that I really wasn't afraid of dying.
Really?
I didn't really.
So was it a different feeling than you thought you would have?
To do. I reacted on instinct, the instinct to just do what I was told to do in that situation, because it's been pounded into your brain. Yeah. At every place you fucking work, I just said, "Fuck it, okay." Got up, gave him the money, and he left. I wasn't even thinking about what if the gun goes off, what if I fucking die here. Yeah. And then I texted my wife afterwards too, and I told her what happened. She's like, "Oh my fucking god!" She was getting a tattoo at the time, and she almost sucked the ink up because she was freaking out so much.
I would too.
It took the artist to say, "You know what? Listen, calm down. If he's texting you,
he's okay.
That means he's good."
Oh my god! I didn't even know that happened to you. How many years ago was that?
Oh Christ, that was I don't know. Let's see. Let's go back through the math. I did Padrones for 4 years. Yeah. Actually, I started there in 2015. It was a year later that I had my surgery, which was 2016. And I was at Domino's before that for 3 years. So I want to say it was around 2012, 2013.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
Whew. So we learned something new about Fred today.
I still remember it. It wasn't fun by any means.
Oh no, I'm sure it wasn't.
Afterwards, I was more pissed than anything.
Yeah, I would be too. I would be.
You know, I was really just pissed.
Yeah.
It's like, this motherfucker, I wanted to go home when we closed the store. Now I got to sit here for 3 fucking hours.
You weren't pissed about the fact that the guy just put the damn gun in your face? I think that's what I'd be pissed about.
I wanted to go home and get high. I wanted to end my fucking day, go home, get high, play some fucking video games all night. But I couldn't do that because I had to talk to these fucking cops that were showing up. I had to get bitched at by my fucking boss, who was pissed that I had too much money in the register because I didn't fucking drop some in the safe.
Wow.
That was my main concern.
I had no clue. That's as long as you've worked in retail. I mean, I guess it would. I mean, yeah, because I mean, ever since I've known you, we've worked in retail. Yeah. I mean, and
that's the only time that's ever happened. Yeah. Which, given the nature of this fucking town, is surprising.
Well, now.
I worked in pizza for 15 fucking years. Some of that was but and customer service for longer than that.
Yeah,
and a lot of it, most of it was here in this shitty fucking town.
Yeah.
It just never happened until now. Until then, well, not now. Until then, and it hasn't happened since.
God, we live in a wonderful town. Lima
God,
is
yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
I have no problem with Lima. I love Lima. I grew up
There's
here,
this
though.
great
Well, you
game we play
did
in
too,
Lima
though.
called
But
Count the Crackheads.
oh,
When
would you shut?
Drive down 4th Street and count the crackheads. So,
Oh
I'll stop with
God.
that now. I don't have a very high opinion of this town. I don't know if you could tell.
I know, yeah, and that's why we say no filter here. I mean, but I have a huge high opinion of the town, and I'm not just saying that to kiss ass. I do. I like this town because it's simple.
Well, there was a meme that stuck with me that I saw somebody created. It said, "Come to Lima, see a building, eat a burger, get shot." Because that's about all we got. We got a big tall building downtown that was it's a bank now, right? It's the Chase Bank building, the big one, the only big one.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I don't go to downtown that much because I'm trying. I drive through it. That's about it.
And we've got Cupid, and that's about it. Cupid's just about the most.
Oh, we've got a ton of stuff, Fred.
Despite the fact that you might get shot when you come here, I still recommend driving through Lima and stopping at Cupid and grabbing a fucking burger because it's the best.
Or Fat Jack's and getting a pizza. That's my personal choice.
When I lived in Florida for 7 years, I dreamed of Fat Jack's and Cupid at least once a week.
Yeah.
For 7 years.
Yeah. There's a
good food.
By the way, speaking of Lima, I don't know if you knew this or not, but do you remember there was a film filmed in Lima?
Yeah, Lost in Middle America.
No, not that one.
Not that one?
Just recently.
Just recently?
Yeah, it's called A Walk with Grace.
No, I did not know that.
Yes, it's a faith-based movie. And now
I probably won't watch it, but
I did watch it. I ended up watching it. It's like an hour and a half long. It's not like really badly faith-based.
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 Face-based.
It's not like pushing it in your face or anything like that. It's just kind of in the background. But what's his name? The Baldwin brothers in it. Stephen Baldwin is in it.
Stephen Baldwin was in Lima?
Yeah. And this woman who
I'd rather have met Adam, honestly.
Yeah.
He's not related to them at all. So.
yeah, I would have
he's
too.
just the best
I always
Baldwin.
thought he was related
He's the
to them.
best
But
Baldwin.
Yes, I think so. Out of all of them, I like him the best. Did you ever watch Chuck?
Chuck? Yeah, he was in that too.
Yeah, he was amazing in Chuck.
He was Jane on Firefly too.
Oh, that's right. Yep, that's where you know him from.
If you watched that.
Oh God, here we go again.
I know. I'm not going to push. I'm just saying, I promise if you watched more than just 15 minutes of the first episode, you'd have a better opinion.
What I wanted to say about this movie was that it's pretty cool if you're from Lima to watch it because it's almost all entirely shot in Lima. It's like there's downtown scenes. It's about a wrestler, so there's a lot of sports scenes, and they all took place at Bath. Didn't you go to Bath?
I went to Bath.
Yeah, they all take place in Bath in the gym.
I had no idea.
Yeah, there's a whole ton of stuff. You have to rent it on Amazon, so just wait till you can get it, wherever, or see it. But it's worth a see if you're from this town because it's kind of neat to see finally an actual real movie that has scenes that you recognize, that you've
Lost
been
in
there.
Middle America was a documentary. You can actually find that whole thing. If you want to know more
It's a
about
good one.
Lima and why it is as shitty as it is, get on
I'm gonna kill you,
YouTube.
Fred.
Get on YouTube and look for a movie called Lost in Middle America. It details the rise and fall of Lima, Ohio.
And the rise again, just like the Dark Knight of Lima. Yes, we're doing very well.
Lima's girlfriend was not killed, therefore,
Oh,
therefore
jeez.
Lima's girlfriend did not hide in his basement for 8 years and grow an emo beard and cry.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Anyway, one more stoner
movies.
film. One more stoner film.
Oh, there's more than just one more.
What are you thinking? Let's get them out here now because
Right.
we're way over. But that's all right.
Actually over, yeah.
No, we are.
That says it, but that doesn't.
Yeah, that doesn't because I started it late, but it doesn't matter because I've got audio from there.
There was one, and I don't remember what the fuck it was. God damn it.
I was trying to think of Jay and Silent Bob. Speaking of Kevin Smith, is another good stoner movie. That's because that's Jokes a Minute. But I haven't seen the reboot yet, so I can't. But Fred says it's really good. So
Fuck.
I was looking them up last night just to remember. Yeah, Pineapple Express.
That's what I was trying to think.
Perfect.
Fucking Seth Rogen again. We mentioned Seth Rogen earlier.
I love Seth Rogen too.
I would, again, he's not as attractive as Elizabeth Banks, but I would still watch any movie he's in,
He's even good. The movie that I didn't think was going to be so good was the last one he was in with Charlize Theron.
Yes.
It's actually a pretty good movie. It's not too bad at all. He's funny in it. She's funny in it. It's got an agenda. Yeah, it's got an agenda a little bit. You can tell, but it's still really good and it's really well acted.
As long as it's funny, as long as I walk away from it smiling and not saying I just wasted 2 hours of my life.
Exactly.
Because that happens way too much.
But as far as stoner movies, you're talking about Seth Rogen. I mean, This Is the End.
Right.
What did you just say? Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express was hilarious.
40-Year-Old Virgin is definitely a movie you would watch. If you're a stoner.
I don't know if it's a stoner movie.
No, because there's not a whole lot of. I think there's like one scene, but I mean, it's not really promoted. Half Baked is another one I always forget about.
Fucking Dave Chappelle.
Yes,
Half-Baked.
And Jim Brewer. Jim Brewer's fantastic.
Horse.
Yeah.
I love that fucking movie.
I forgot about that. It just came in my head.
The only thing about that movie that did not strike me as realistic enough is at the end when he quits. Because I stopped for 7 fucking years, but you don't ever quit.
You
don't ever just quit. And any woman that's demanding you quit is not the woman for you.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
There's like 100 other women out there that look just fucking like her that will smoke with you.
Yep.
So just go find. Yes.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I think that's about time for our. Where are we at up there anyway?
The time on the TV from when I hit the.
We're so new to this.
Yeah, it doesn't. People don't care. They're listening for the funny bits. I hit record on the video at an hour and 3 minutes, hour and 4 minutes now. And,
so we're not that over. Okay.
The audio has only been going for 58 minutes.
Yeah, I forgot to hit audio, but it doesn't matter. We got the audio off the camera too. Actually, it's hooked in. Why am I telling you this? Why do you guys want to know this? You don't. We're so
we
amateur.
Should have a behind the scenes episode. We should just do a gag reel.
Consider us like amateur. I mean, amateur porn's big, so consider us amateur YouTube. I can't believe I just said that. Consider us amateur YouTube, and
we should start our own streaming website
or dudettes.
PodHub.
Yeah. PodHub.
There it is.
We can have the same logo and everything. That would be perfect. That's our production company right there, PodHub.
Just take the RN out and replace it with a D.
Anyhow, thanks you. We thanks you for joining us on the show. And checking out stoner movies, which wasn't talked about enough, but I think we got our point across. Stoner show.
Yeah. You should put the word when you do like the stoner movie with the title's gonna be like stoner movies.
Yeah.
Put the word movies in parentheses.
Okay.
Here it is.
Anyway,
that's my suggestion.
We'll see. Oh wow!
We'll see. Even stoned. I've just smoked away so many fucking brain cells that I just come across that way.
Right. Well, we will see you next week, and we hope you have a lovely and enjoyable week, and be good to yourself, I guess.
Have fun.
Culture Pop.
Shut up and sit down.
Hey, hop in, man.
Hey, man, whose car?
You know Wooderson?
Oh.
How's it going, man?
Hey. Pretty good. How's it going with you?
Say, man, you got a joint?
No, not on me, man.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.